We're gonna pause right here because I need to throw my cat in the fucking bedroom because he's going ape shit, and
Lock
my
him
mic
up.
is slightly picking up. Listen here,
Lock up the
fucker, you're
kitty cat.
going to jail. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Why you running?
Because he doesn't want to go to jail. We got
He
to
doesn't
run
want to go to jail. I don't know what to tell you. My pit crew won't save.
Stop
Oh, there it
running
is.
that way. Go to the room. Go to the room. Good boy. Stay in here. I'll get you in a bit. That's the intro, by the way.
That's very unstray of you.
Now it's gotta be the intro. Hello, thank you for tuning in to the Joystick Frequency, a video game podcast that doubles as a video game book club, where you're a member just by listening in. I'm your host, Trent. Joining me are my two co-hosts, Walker
Hello.
and Brady.
Hi.
So last time we talked about the adorable fox game called Tunic. This time we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. We started by saying we were going to do Sniper Elite 5, and instead it became a grab bag because we found a bunch of games that we enjoyed playing that came out. So yeah, we're going to be covering Sniper Elite. We'll be talking probably a little bit about Fall Guys because multiple of us have experience with it. We'll be talking about Stray, and then lastly we'll be talking about probably the best game of this batch, Powerwasher Simulator. I may or may not be joking. We'll have to see later on in the year.
You are dissing on Stray immediately, and I'm not a fan. Although Powerwash is very good.
I guess let's just go on and get into what we've been playing. Who would like to start?
I've been playing a lot of Lego Star Wars. Obviously these three games as well, but Lego Star Wars has been the go-to nightly game for my partner and I, and it's been fantastic. We're at something like 80% completion now. We finally completed all the Galaxy free play stuff, and now we have to rerun through the missions. So that's been my go-to.
I just want to point out that I came over to your house the other day and y'all were doing this, and the amount that y'all bicker with each other while doing this game, just fun, friendly, haha bicker with each other, is fucking adorable, and there's so much of it.
Oh yeah, because we're both incredibly good and incredibly bad at the game. It's because it's a Lego game, and the game itself is fairly buggy. So there's a lot to poke fun at each other with.
I specifically remember you were playing as Admiral Akbar, and he was flying outside of the ship that y'all are piloting.
Yeah, he was just floating in space. He's jamming.
All right, you got anything else, or is that it?
That's basically it. I've been jam packed with games. I did actually play one other one. If y'all don't mind. It's called My Time on Frog Island.
Oh
Which
boy.
was very, very cute. Emma picked it up for me for my birthday and played through it. It's got a very similar art style to, if y'all remember, I talked about A Short Hike a little while ago.
Oh,
It's
that's
very
right.
similar art style. Basically, you are this captain that washes up after a massive storm on Frog Island, and you're just kind of let free to roam. There's a bunch of little tasks you can do, but your main goal is to repair your boat and get off the island. But as you play through, there's different quests and storylines you can do for the different residents of Frog Island. It's a fairly decently sized area to explore. It's very fun. It's a good just run around, mess with some stuff. There's some tadpole dogs that are very good boys, and yeah, it's great.
Do you actually ever get off of Frog Island?
At the very end, yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a very sad story. If y'all don't mind spoiler, I can drop a real quick spoiler. If anyone do y'all feel like you would probably play it?
I'm not sure. I was gonna make a reference to Lost with it if you didn't get off the island and oh, you sure you're not just in purgatory?
Yeah. We were at a wedding at one point. I don't know. But yeah, that's been my go-to.
Brady?
I've been playing a couple of old games. The first one I've been playing is called Empire Total War. It's a Total War game. You are playing as a country trying to take over the world basically with your armies and civilization building. But it's set during the 1700s. Super fun. Gun firing lines and cannons. I don't know what more you could ask for. I've also been playing some Assassin's Creed Black Flag because pirates.
Very good choice. We were actually just talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
It's the best pirate game that has been made, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
100%. Me and Walker were actually talking about like just a whole bunch of like old games that like just bring nostalgia to us and like are like super hits with us and everything. And Black Flag came up, and it made me bring up the thing like at some point during this podcast we need to like go through and each pick like a top 25 games or something, and you're limited to like one per series and everything. And like I was like 100% for Assassin's Creed series. Black Flag is my number one because Black Flag was just, I remember playing so many hours in that game. Even after I completely beat it and everything, that one was so addicting.
Yeah, it holds up for sure. The graphics aren't fantastic, but it's a incredible game.
I think I 100%ed the Xbox 360 version. Maybe it's time to go back and play the Xbox One version. Or maybe it was the One version. Did it come out on the One?
It came out on One. I don't think it came out on 360 unless they released it later.
That sucks. It means I 100%.
Because the whole thing with that Assassin's Creed one was they released Black Flag for the new generation, and they released Rogue for the old generation, which was the Templar like story, which I've heard was very good, but I'd never played it.
Well, just more to add to the list. I'll actually now you got me in the Assassin's Creed mood. Like I might go back and start playing Revelations now because that's the next. I've 100%ed 1 to Brotherhood so far, so I'm gonna go in 100% Revelations next. So I'll probably end up playing that this month now.
It's a good one.
What about you? What have you been playing, Trent?
So, like I mentioned earlier, other than the other 3 games that we brought, I've been playing a lot of Fall Guys to the point that it wasn't even a good joke or anything. But, like, I hit a certain point in Fall Guys where I looked at the Battle Pass and I'm like, if I reach this point, I don't know how much of this game I'm going to play. But if I reach this point, I might buy the Battle Pass just to make a shitty joke. I don't even remember what the joke was. It was something to do with the Ezio Auditore pants with the Among Us head. And, like, me calling him Ezio Auditore and, like, you're sus, you killed my family, or something stupid like that. But I spent $10 on that joke, and that's the funniest part of the joke. The fact that I spent the $10 on the Battle Pass. And I've thoroughly been enjoying Fall Guys. Fall Guys is the best Battle Royale, in my opinion, now. Because it's, like, it's a Battle Royale you can't get mad at. Like, okay, I take that back.
You have not seen the videos I have then.
I take that back. If people start grabbing you all the time and try and push you off, then it can be a little infuriating. But like, if I get to the final round and I lose, I don't feel angry like I do in Apex or Warzone or something like that. I'm just like, damn, I was so close, and I hit the play again button. It's got the hook. Like it hooks deep in me, and like it's been a lot of fun. I've been playing with a group of people. We play mostly solos. We sometimes play squads, but like we all cheer each other on, and we get streaks where some of us are like talking shit, and then we start losing, and then it's funny for the whole group. It's just been a real blast to play with a group, and I'm looking forward to playing it a lot more. Now that I got a Battle Pass, like, this is probably the first Battle Pass I've ever bought that I'll actually probably complete.
Yeah, Fall Guys it's very fun. The turnaround time for exiting a match and being able to start a new one is very, very snappy, unlike a good chunk of other Battle Royale games. Plus, the idea of a platformer Battle Royale is amazing. I love it. I'm a sucker for platformers in general. Collectathons, any of those style of games. So the fact that someone turned a platformer into not only a multiplayer experience, but the hash it out until there's one person standing is very fun, a very clever idea.
I think the last platformer that I played, multiplayer platform that I played that I really enjoyed this much was probably the I think it was the new Super Mario Brothers that came out on the Wii. That was probably the last one, and like I remember that came out right around whenever my dad married married my stepmother, and so we got our kids and her kids mixed together. There was a house of 7, plus all of my stepmother's brothers and sisters lived really nearby, so they would come over all the time, and we'd always have at least 6 people there that want to play Super Mario Brothers. So we'd always be playing that game. It was a lot of fun. All right, and now, other than that, I don't think I played anything else other than just the standard League of Legends. We're almost through with the Elden Ring playthrough that me and Liam are doing. So yeah.
I still have not gone back to that game. I need to finish it up.
Oh yeah, it's it's good. Like I'm still playing it now, and I'm still finding new things that I'm like, holy shit, that's awesome. Which one do we want to start with?
Did y'all play Stray at all?
No.
No.
I can chat for a little bit about Stray, but so okay, here's the thing. We all played Powerwash, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I played Stray, and both of y'all played Sniper Elite, right?
Yes.
Like fully?
Yeah.
Okay. I only played a little bit of Sniper Elite, so I can rant for a little bit about Stray. We could just put Stray. It depends. Whatever y'all want to do.
I say we do 1, 2, 3. The one that one of us played, then the one that 2 of us played, then the one that all of us played.
Yeah, I was gonna say the last one should be the one that we all played at least.
Okay.
So yeah, that works for me. So, and I can chip in a little bit about Stray because like I did watch the last 3 hours. So
If you want to give us a quick game summary of Stray real quick before I jump in and just start chatting, that'd be fantastic.
So Stray came out recently. It's an adventure video game. It's been developed by Blue 12 Studio, published by Annapurna Interactive. Walker, you were listing a whole bunch of stuff that they came out with before this.
Oh yeah, Annapurna. They did Gone Home. They did What Remains of Edith Finch. They have a handful of other games like Kentucky Route Zero.
That's right. Okay.
They are I would describe them as the A24 of video games. I love all the games that they've put out that I've played so far.
A24. What do you mean by that?
A24 is a movie company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember playing Gone Home and really enjoying that one. So they're really good at minimal mechanic story games. But in Stray, this one you follow a stray cat. He actually looks like my cat Apollo. He's an orange cat. He falls into a walled city populated by robots, machines, and mutant bacteria. And he falls away from his family. So his whole goal is to get back to the surface, to get back to his fam. And about partway through, you get the help of a drone, a companion named B12, and the robot essentially is how you communicate with the robots and the technology of this forgotten settlement down here.
Yeah, that sums it up pretty well. Hey guys, do y'all like cats?
Like cats.
Have you ever wanted to be a cat?
Occasionally, yes.
This game lets you be a cat to the nth degree, to every extent that you could imagine. Well, for the most part. You can absolutely walk around, you can scratch shit up, you can nuzzle with other cats, you can lay down and just sleep places, you can knock paint over, step in the paint, and trail paint through the city, and you can fight mutant bacteria parasite things.
2 a.m. cat shit.
Yeah, normal cat shit. So, Stray is great. It starts off with you play as our central cat, which obviously is never named. His name is Meow. And you go through the game. Initially, you're just learning some of the basic mechanics. You know, you're going around, you're meeting the members of the family. You go up, you play fight with one of them, you nuzzle up with another. And it ends with a little cuddle puddle with all 4 of them together. And then the next day, after the rain stops, you'll go out exploring. You run around for a little bit. 3 of your family members go across this pipe, and then you try to go across this pipe, and as you jump and land on it, the pipe shifts, and there's a Lion King moment where the 3 family members sit and watch you slowly fall off the edge and down into this underground city. And your main goal is just to get back to your family. the story itself is very minimal but very clever in how it works. So once you fall down into this underground city, you run around for a little bit, kind of figuring out where you're at. Yeah, after you fall down into the city, you take a little bit of time, run around, get used to the area. You start to explore a bit, and as you mentioned, Trent, you find a little droid companion whose name is B12. He's a little AI. He hangs out and talks to you. He has some memories of the world and of humanity, and just wants to kind of figure out what's going on. He says he needs to get back to a professor. And that actually introduces the main collectible of the game, which is memories for B12. So there's certain areas in the environment where you can go and interact with, and you can get a little bit of extra lore about the world. There's five, I believe it's five main story-based memories, which are the ones you get no matter how you play the game. And then there's something like 23 or 24 assorted other memories, which are just random little tidbits about the world. But if you collect all of them, you get a fancy little bonus at the end of the game. As you go through, continue from this point, you begin to traverse this underground city populated with these robots named companions. They are kind of the classic robot for the most part, but their heads are these old, like, computer monitor looking things with cute, like, smiley faces on them. But after however much time has passed since the collapse of humanity, they have evolved from these basic robots that were initially just made to assist humans to start to mimic the behaviors and personalities of people. There's a lot of really interesting characters through the game. You meet one set of robots that is literally a play on Doc and Marty from the Back to the Future series, and they give you an item called the Defluxer, which is a flashlight that's your little companion can use to help you take on one of the primary antagonistic elements, the Zergs. The Zergs are these little bug-like parasite creatures that you're introduced to very early on as you're running through the city, and suddenly, basically, they're little small creatures less than like 2 inches or 3 inches wide, and they just want to eat, no matter if it's metal or organic matter. So they will latch on to your little kitty cat and fuck you up pretty good if you don't get them all off and keep running. I'm trying to think what else I can say about this game without spoiling too much. There's the characters themselves are mostly consistent of the companion B12 and the companions themselves, so these robots that inhabit the world. They all have very interesting personalities, and you can kind of explore those once you get into these main settlement areas. There's 3 main settlement areas, one being the first one you encounter, which is the slums, which is at the very, very bottom of this underground city, where it's not only seen as a place to for all like the broken and rejected robots to go, but also where all the trash is thrown. So there's some fun little commentary there. And as you move forward, your goal is to, you can explore these slums for a while, but since your goal is to get out through the top of the city and escape, you eventually need to figure out a way up, and some of the companions will help you out. I don't really want to say too much else because the game itself is very, very good. There is one section of the game. There's this one section of the game where you're trying to navigate through these sewers as you get to an area called Ant Village, which is just the next big settlement on your way up. And as you're navigating these sewers, you figure out this is a Zerk breeding ground. And honestly, it's one of the most horrifying elements I've seen in a game in a while. There's a lot of like undulating, like flesh-like substances. There's eyes growing out of walls. It is terrifying. Yeah, I don't want to say too much else because I would highly recommend anyone who has a PS4 or PS5 go check this game out, especially if you like cats. There's literally a dedicated meow button where you can just walk around, meow. You can meow through cutscenes. Yeah, it's a blast. I would highly recommend it.
So I watched you and your partner play the last 3 hours of this game. about. So I will go a little bit into like the ending, like not telling the ending, but like near whenever you get to the ending, there's this really cool like just shot whenever you go up to the control station. Because like obviously you're gonna open up the you're gonna get back home. So whenever you get to where you can make the choice to open that or not, you basically can see the entire area from a like a bird's eye view of the entire area of each location that you traveled through, and I thought that was really cool. And like it's actually a really like well designed and well spread out city below you. And yeah, I just thought that was really cool. That was worth shouting out.
Yeah, I would agree. The interconnectivity of it is very, very fun. Um, there are basically sequences of all different kinds of the game, a bunch of which I was not expecting. There's one section where you're looking for I mentioned the Doc and Marty characters. You are looking for the Doc character, and you basically have to just run through this area that's been infested with the Zerks and just desperately try to find this inventor who's gone missing. And that just the ambiance is incredible.
Also so you were going into the things that you didn't expect. I didn't play it from the beginning, so I didn't know how many of these there were up until the point. But like towards the end, your partner started playing the stealth sequence, and I was like, I would not think of a game like this to have a stealth sequence. And my God, was it hilarious to watch her go through that.
Oh yeah. That was one of the very few. There's like 3 stealth sequences in the game, so you got to see the last one, which was very, very fun.
Um, Other than that, yeah, I think that's about all I can give for Stray. I know Brady, you weren't able to play it this month. Well, I guess we can move on to.
It's a very short experience. I think we beat it in 2 sessions of maybe 4 to 5 hours playing. So a total time of maybe 10 hours, and we were taking our time exploring, running around, making sure we got all the collectibles. So
I actually remember exactly whenever y'all loaded it up that y'all had been playing for about 5.5 hours the day before, and then I watched y'all finish it the next day. So like it's a pretty well sized game for anyone that's just looking for a short experience. Like you can get it done in a weekend easy. So
oh, you can get down even quicker than that. There's an achievement for speed running it in under 2 hours, and that gives you enough time to get 100% in the game.
hmm.
So yeah, there's a lot of fun in that regard.
All right, I guess Brady, would you like to kick us off for Sniper Elite?
So Sniper Elite 5, full disclosure, I did not play Sniper Elite 1 through 4. However, I think playing through 5 gave me a pretty good idea of what those were like. You play a sniper in the United States Army. You are going through occupied France with your sniper rifle, just shooting the hell out of Nazis. It's not a masterpiece story-wise. The combat is very fun and engaging. And shooting a bullet from half a mile away and watching it tear through a Nazi skull is one of the most satisfying gaming experiences there is.
I would
Highly
absolutely
recommend
agree.
it.
Indeed.
Real quickly, I will go ahead and give the developer information. So, straight after Wikipedia here, Sniper Elite 5 is a third-person tactical stealth shooter game developed and published by Rebellion Developments. It is the sequel to Sniper Elite 4 and was released on the 26th of May 2022 for Microsoft Windows, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. I only played a little bit of this game. I played the first level, which I tried to do as much as I could in the level. I did all the side missions and all that good stuff. Uh, it's pretty fun. I have some qualms with it, uh, but I'll save those a little bit later on.
Yeah. So I mean, actually, I think we just go right into it. and
Go right into qualms.
yeah, because it throws you right in to the worst issue with the game being just the first level. The first level has no really good sniping areas, and it's the first level. It's supposed to get you used to the game, and I feel like the sniping areas that they do have are for like would have been better suited for later in the game when you're got used to the stuff. It seemed like a bad design flaw to throw it in at the beginning. Like I said, I feel like this would be better at the closer to the end of the game, because there's a whole lot of just sneaking around and trying to get the perfect angle on people and trying to avoid vision cones whenever you're just starting and just getting used to the controls of the game. You haven't even gotten your technique down yet or anything like that. You don't know how you like to approach situations or anything yet. So it's basically just meant for disaster as soon as you go to fight more than one guy that's sitting on his lonesome, because you're not sure how the game functions at that point yet, and so you end up alerting the guards, and once the guards get alerted, they'll go and they'll ring an actual alarm that'll bring even more, and it just becomes a shit show where you can't really snipe quietly because A, you don't have the attachments, and B, you don't know how to sound mask yet, and there's not consistent sound masking on the first level.
I'm really glad you brought this up, because that was my primary issue with the game. I played one of the previous Sniper Elite games fully, and I played another one for only a couple levels of it. I do not remember which ones, but it was a little while ago. And this one felt very different in the fact that, at least in the first level that I played, for a game that has sniper in the title, I did not feel very encouraged to use my sniper rifle, except in the cases where I wanted to take out one or two enemies before just going all out. There were a lot of cases where, especially the longer that I played, the more I felt like I needed to shift to a run and gun style of gameplay that did not really fit what I think they were trying to go for. I figured out it was a lot more efficient for me, at least, to, shoot one or two guys with a sniper rifle, run up, pick up whatever weapons they were holding, and then just cycle through whatever weapons they had. And it worked. I mean, it worked really well, and I started to get into that and really enjoy that style of gameplay.
Yeah, that was my main complaint with the game as well, was that for a sniper game, you didn't get to snipe. It felt more like a stealth game than a sniper game. And even the stealth was troublesome at times.
It is reassuring to hear that it wasn't just me that was having this issue.
Nah.
I did find that once you got past the third level, there were a lot more chances for sniping. But the first level was bad for sniping. Second level was okay, but not great. Third level was you didn't get to snipe except at the very beginning of the level. After that, I was able to pretty much mostly snipe people. But
what was the second level, if you can remind me?
the second level was just the mansion.
Oh, that's right.
How many levels are there in the game?
8, I believe.
They label 1-9, but it's literally you take one shot.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You take one shot and game's over. But I feel differently. I feel like just the first level was the only thing that held it back. Once you got to the second level, it actually gave you like chances to snipe people and everything. It may have been the path that you took at that point to not be able to snipe people. Because
Actually,
go ahead.
you know what? You're right. The second level was okay. The third level did not give you any chances to snipe. The second level did. I'll give you that.
Yeah, even whenever you were in the mansion on the second level, like they have some really long hallways there where you can be around a corner and then quickly like poke your head out and get a quick shot.
Yeah.
This game is so much better once you unlock sound masked ammo, like what was subsonic ammo, because
subsonic ammo and silencers. Once you get those, you're golden.
yeah, it that will make your experience far more better if you're trying to snipe and be quiet about it and everything. As for the complaint about the stealth, this is actually like the amount of stealth that these games usually come with, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, you this is your first time playing, so I know you wouldn't know that, but like stealthing and sneaking around, trying to find angles and everything was a like core part of it. In Sniper Elite 4, they had it to where you could do a lot more environmental kills. I didn't see that a lot in this one, but basically you could sneak around and have people die and it looked like an accident. And like people would start searching because they're investigating the body and how it died and everything just to make sure, but then they'd go back to their normal routes afterwards. And so like as long as you find a good hiding spot and everything, you were able to get away with it. This one had a little less of that. There were a couple points here and there that you were able to do it, but not much. But as far as the third level, in my opinion, the third level is actually the best level in the game.
The third level is an incredibly well-designed level.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. I don't know anything that comes up past the first level.
It's called Spy School. And basically you start on this beach, and the only way, it's an island, and the only way across it is down the bridge, or like the water is, the tide is low enough to where you can go across the sand right below the bridge. And basically it opens up, and you have like, you can start spotting people with your binoculars and shoot them from 350 plus meters away and everything if you're able to hit them from there. And just that opening right there is really good and fun. You can take out a lot of people there without throwing up the alerts or anything. I will say I do agree, if it depends on which route you take, if you're able to snipe or not, but sniping isn't just like 150 meters plus or anything. It like, especially during this time, like guns were still kind of in their infancy back then. And so, like, technically from 50 meters, like, you can still snipe someone from 50 meters, and it'd be considered, like, a long-range shot and be good. So, like, there's a lot of side paths that give you, like, big open courtyards with a couple of obstacles in them so that so either you can sneak around them, or if you alert people, then they'll be taking cover behind them and stuff. However, there is also a lot of close combat stuff, and that's really good if you are doing the stealth, and if you're able to whistle and attract one person at a time, you can do a lot of the stealth kills around corners and stuff like that.
I ended up on that level. There is, when you start on the beach, there's that bridge to the island. If you go to the right of the bridge, there's a small tunnel behind a minefield.
Yeah.
That leads you into the castle. I got up there, caused an alert because I messed up in stealth, and then just sat on the other side of that tunnel, and as enemies would run into the tunnel, I'd just shoot them with the submachine gun. There was eventually a pile of like 50 bodies there, and I just cleared out the whole eastern side of the castle.
Yeah, that'll do it. I played this game with co-op with Mad Mitch K, a friend of ours. We streamed it together and everything, and that was an experience. I'll tell you that. It was pretty much like a veteran me teaching a recruit her how to play the game and how to, like, how the mechanics work and stuff like that. And I remember that the first level, I was just like showing her the ropes. We didn't restart at all or anything. The second level, we started restarting anytime we got caught to try and do it stealthily, just so that like she could get better at stealth, because you can't practice it if people are alerted. The third level, we restarted so many times because I would we decided to split up for that level. She went to the left side, I went to the right side, and I alerted people on the right side, but I'm the veteran, so I'm okay with it. They're all alerted on the right side, but not the left. And then I'd be fine, and there'd be like 12 guys around me looking for me and everything, and I'd be picking them off one by one. and then all of a sudden she would go down on the other side of the map, and I'd have to restart, and then there'd be 12 guys around looking for me, and I'd have to start taking them out one by one again. And there was just a lot of resetting that level over and over again, specifically to try and brute force teach her how to stealth, pretty much. Playing this game co-op is a lot of fun, by the way, because you can scare the shit out of your co-op partner, because in the regular game you do it'll almost X-ray every shot you do almost, but for co-op it'll do like a very sped up version of it for you, but there's the occasional one that it will show you both, and it takes the person completely out of what they're doing and is like spectating this person as they're taking the shot and everything, and then it shows the shot go along and everything, and the jump from being stealthy, creeping around the corner, to bah! And the shot going forward to someone is just crazy. And it scares the shit out of you and everything, and you're just like, that's okay, I only shit myself a little. There were a couple times where we took shots at bad times, and then the other person ends up down outside, like right after the cam, and it'd be really funny.
What are y'all's overall feelings currently, towards the game, now since y'all have played it in full?
Like I said, I recommend it. It's not a perfect game, but it is a very fun game.
What difficulty did you play it on, Brady?
Normal.
Normal? Okay. I think that was sharpshooter, yeah?
Whichever the default one was. I don't remember what it was called.
We played on...
I also played through on the normal one, so
Okay.
I've got no idea.
I played on sharpshooter, which is the medium difficulty, so I don't know if that's normal or if how they specified it. But I thoroughly enjoyed the game as well. It was just another Sniper Elite game for me. I don't think it was the best one. There are like a lot of really good levels and really good shots you can take in this one. But like I said, I played the others, so it was easy for me to get into and play this one again. It just felt like just returning to an old friend, pretty much. And so I would totally recommend giving it a play, especially if you played any of the others, because it's just there were a couple levels in this that were a lot better designed, and like, I don't know, it's just enjoyable.
I'm going to go ahead and lay out the rest of my gripes, and then I'm going to give it a couple compliments, because I want to kind of sandwich how I feel about this game.
Alright, I may be able to contest some of these gripes.
Okay, so first and foremost, having played the game in full, both of y'all, and then Trent, additional question to you since you've played the previous ones in the series, the climbing, is that something that has been part of the game before, and how did y'all end up feeling about it? Because I loathed it. It was so slow, and not even like the fun, like stealthy kind of slow. It was just a pain to try to crawl up and through, like up some vines and through a window, and it was just a pain.
I didn't really have any issues with the climbing. It has been in the game for multiple iterations, but I didn't really have any issues with it. Like, was it janky, or was it just like it didn't seem like it was moving right for you?
I felt like it was janky. It was definitely hard to move around properly. I couldn't just choose. Granted, I've played a lot of games where you do stuff like parkour, and I guess I'm just so used to the option of just being able to drop from anywhere and just land on the ground. But there was one specific side mission that I did in the first level where you had to go into like the upper level of a house, which you could only access by climbing up some vines. I went to climb up and around. I got up into the room, picked up the thing I needed, and tried to jump, like leave. But it was such a pain to get out the window, and I couldn't just drop and fall the 2 stories and take whatever minimal damage I would have taken. Instead, I had to jankily move all the way over. It just felt it felt too slow to match the rest of the experience that it was trying to offer.
That's fair. The climbing's not like, it's not the best thing in the game. It's not trying to be anything or either. But there were a couple times that it's like it was a little janky for me as well, but it wasn't anything that like I wasn't doing myself pretty much. Fall damage is there's a lot of it in this game. I fell, yeah, like you'd be surprised. Falling from 2 stories usually takes you down more than half health.
Oh, I probably would not have survived that fall then.
It's quite funny because if you hit the down button at any point on a ledge that you cannot go down, your guy just drops. And because he thinks you're telling him to drop. So, I mean, you'll fall off ledges all the time. So, yeah, like, the climbing's a little rough, but at the same time, like, I mean, this guy's not, like, going parkour and everything. He's not 100% best physical shape or anything. He's a sniper.
Right. I mean, he's lugging around all sorts of weaponry and other stuff in that massive backpack.
And a lot of explosives.
A lot of explosives.
So much explosives. Is there a limit to the number of satchel charges you can carry? I know all the other explosives you have like
no,
like 3 or 4, but satchel charges it seems like you can just have 20.
Yeah, the only issue is you can only use them on specific things. So like you can't manually use them. It has to be something specifically used that a satchel charge has to be used on. But no, I don't think there was a limit on that. So like and the funny thing is they're not shared among co-op partners. So I would pick up a pair of bolt cutters, Casa wouldn't have access to them. I would pick up a crowbar, Casa wouldn't have it. I would pick up a satchel charge and Casa would be on the other side of the map. Where the fuck do I find a satchel charge? And I'm just like, oh, I have like 6 of those. And then I'd have to run all the way over there. There were a lot of levels that we like split up. There were a couple that we played together, but a lot of the levels we would split up to try and see what we could do on our own. Because, I mean, if she's alerting the guards every couple seconds and I'm trying to be stealthy and I know I can be stealthy, then it kind of like ruins it a bit for me. But at the same time, if I'm trying to be stealthy and just creep along the entire time and she has to follow my every move in order to keep up with me, then she's not having much fun as well. So we thought it would be a good idea to split up for most of the missions. And we found that we were able to like cover each other a lot with that too. All right, more gripes, Walker?
The only other one that's coming to mind, well, I guess I technically have 2, but the only other one that's game mechanic wise is the maps. It was super cool that the maps were the size that they were, at least for the first level.
Mm.
It is a pain in the ass to try to navigate those maps at the speed that your character moves, and the fact that the controller vibrates intensely whenever he gets like. I know it's trying to alert you that you're breathing and you won't be able to like focus properly down the scope, but the controller vibrates so harshly whenever you start like sprinting. And when I finished the first like completed the first level and it was like, okay, I've done all the main mission points. I have to go back for like exfil, right? So I open the map and I gotta go back to the other side of the map. It's like, all right, cool. I've done everything else on the map, so I literally just have to run all the way across. So just sitting there for a good 10-15 minutes just holding the forward on the controller, my controller just buzzing in my hands. There should be some form of either fast travel or being able to hop in a vehicle no matter if it draws attention, or just make the movement a little bit more fluid. That would be my main issue with that.
Yeah, I played on PCs, so I did not get any vibration.
Oh, gotcha.
I didn't play with controller, but I know exactly what you mean because I played the past games on controller, and the amount of vibration is kind of crazy. But so if you turn it off, you find that you need it for like certain things. So it's just something you got to get used to. Like I wish they would make like specific settings for it. Maybe they did, and I just didn't look at it because I wasn't dealing with vibration this time.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, it's good. It's kind of a relief to once again hear that it's not just me. The only last thing I really have to say negatively is, and this is not a slight at the game itself, it's more a slight at the general genre, and me specifically, I guess. it is very difficult for me in my current state of mind and position to like really get into a lot of the like shooter games these days. I don't know exactly what it is, but a lot of the times for me, it's just that the story does not grip me at all. And in this case, it was kind of the same thing. It's your standard fare. American good guy goes in with gun and helps save the day. I'm sure there's more to it than that, but it just did not hook me the way that other games do. So.
Well, that's where you're wrong, because he's not American.
Oh, I know. He's German-born, right? That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
With the most American accent. Yeah.
Yes. He is very dude, bro, American soldier man.
Actually, I'm pretty sure he works for the UK, England.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, in any other game series, I might agree with you. For me, Sniper Elite kind of falls into the Wolfenstein category, where, like, yeah, it's very classic. Good guy goes in and shoots people, but the people they're shooting are Nazis, so it kind of doesn't have to be too complex story-wise. And that's the fun of it, is you can kind of just destroy people and see gory, disgusting deaths. And it's okay because it's Nazis and you're getting to shoot Nazis and you don't have to think too much.
It was kind of cool to see additionally added onto that, like, since we're kind of talking about characters, I don't know obviously where any of the storylines go, but it was cool to see a companion character that had what I felt like was a fair and respectable Scottish accent, and not just like stupidly over the top and like, you know.
I do think that Sniper Elite is pretty good whenever for their voice actors and actresses for their characters, because we meet a French lady later in, and she sounds natural, born and bred French as well. Like they're pretty good about stuff like that. At the same time, I'm gonna back off of what Brady said pretty much. Sniper Elites, mostly all of them have been like this, where the plot isn't the strongest. It's literally, there's a plot for a super weapon. This German guy's doing it. You do everything to learn about this super weapon and to learn about this plot, and learn about like what he's going to do with it. And you get to the point, you keep shutting down the production of said super weapons, and then you find where they're keeping the ones that have currently been built, take care of the super weapons, and then go take care of guy that was coming up with this. And
gotcha.
That's pretty much every Sniper Elite has done that, except for 2, I think. Actually, no, I think I'm remembering something else. I just know they always come out with a DLC where you kill Hitler as well.
Well, yeah, naturally. If you got a game about killing Nazis, you got to have a kill Hitler. Especially, and here's where my praise of the game comes in. Slow-mo kill cams is a brilliant idea, especially when it comes to shooting Nazis in the head or Hitler in the ball. Like, that is incredible.
There was one guy that Kassa kept resetting, so I kept killing him a different way every single time. This poor soldier, I shot in the head, the heart, the liver, the testicle, the lungs, and I think there's like one other organ you can shoot and everything. But I like ruined this NPC. Ruined this NPC every time that Kassa made me reset, and it got to the point to where I was just like, man, I kind of feel bad for this guy now. I don't think he deserved this much, but they're Nazis, so they do.
He's a Nazi. Fuck him. He was stuck in world's worst Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
But he deserves it.
I also came up with the idea that I think I want to do a playthrough of one of these games, because if you look through the binoculars at the person, it gives you like a little bit of info about them and everything. I want to do a playthrough where you kill based on that info on whether or not you want to do it, because there are a couple of things where you'll look at it and it's like plans on defecting to the American troops within the week or something like that, or this guy was forced to be in the military and everything. He has 3 kids or something at home, and stuff like that. Like, there are a couple little things that make you be like, huh, maybe like not. It's kind of the argument like all Nazis are bad, but not all Germans are Nazis. It's kind of the circle, or not the circle, the square rectangle argument. And
Right.
like they do make you think about a couple of the German soldiers that they're in an unfortunate situation where they have to be here as well. Some of them didn't choose this, and I actually like that because you don't often get to pick what your orders are if you're in the military. So,
All right. I mean, anyone else have any additional thoughts they want to throw in on Sniper Elite?
I will say the pistol, I think it's one of the earliest pistols you pick up where it's just a pipe.
well, Rod.
The well rod. That thing is the MVP. I never used a different pistol once I had that one.
I actually got the max amount of kills with that pistol, then swapped to another one and just put a silencer on it, and it was better because it could hit from further range. I cannot count to you how many times I would take a shot with a well rod, hit the guy's hat off, and then just be fucked because I have to sit there manually reload instantly to take a shot.
Yeah, you got to take 20 minutes to reload it. That's the only problem.
Yeah, like with the suppressor of the other ones, I can miss the first shot and just bam, 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 just make sure he's dead. The well rod usually is the MVP for these runs, but I actually wanted to go through without it for this one, so I just got the quick 50 kills on it and then swapped.
Well rod pipe. What is this thing? Like,
It's a pistol that is like not even like it's not suppressed, but it's suppressed, if that makes any sense. Like, it's the quietest pistol, it's the quietest weapon, period, in the game, and people have to be within, like, I think it's either 11 or 12 meters of you to be able to hear it go off.
interesting. Okay.
Like, it is the stealth weapon of stealth weapons. The problem is, you have to reload after every shot, so you got to make sure that you hit the first shot.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and it's not the most powerful weapon, so you have to aim very, very well, and it's not accurate.
You have to hit the head with it. If you don't hit the head with it,
Yeah.
you're probably not getting the kill.
So what I'm hearing is Brady's a better shot than you.
No.
What you're hearing is Brady reset a lot when he triggered enemies.
No, what I'm hearing, no, what I'm saying is the well rod is good in great situations. Just there are some times where you can't get closer than you already are to that guy without alerting something. So you have to take the shot, and then it just doesn't kill him, and you're just like, well, fuck. And then you reload, shoot another shot, and because he's alerted, I feel like when enemies are alerted, they don't take,
As much damage.
yeah, as much damage. So it'll go from you shoot him with the first shot, he doesn't die, to then now you have to load 3 or 4 shots in him before he actually like dies. Like, that guy's a trooper, taking shot after shot.
There was this one gun that I found. I don't remember what it was, but I picked it up off of an enemy that I killed. I guess it was a machine gun of some kind, or it's something along those lines, right? It had something like 150 rounds in it. But I was walking around and I could feather the trigger on this thing, shoot 3 bullets, kill any guy like instantly. It was incredible for handling most of the game. There was one point where I accidentally dropped it because I did not realize switching weapons drops the any picked up weapons that you have.
Yeah.
So I lost that and was miserable. It was so sad that I lost
Stealth game, by the way.
it. Stealth game. Yeah, stealth game.
All right, so if you're done with gripes, I have a gripe. Tanks are bullshit.
Ugh.
Like, normally, in the past games, you could shoot a tank right, like, just perfectly in the fuel line and blow it up in one shot. And I don't know why they swapped from that. It makes you feel like so less of a badass in this one, because you have to take like 5 shots at the back of it before it actually goes down, or sneak up on it and put a satchel charge. And I don't know how in this big ass tank you can hear someone running up behind you, but every single time, like, I would try, like, they would move into position, and I'd have a way where I can finally run to them without getting caught by the soldiers on the ground, and then I'd go, and then the tank's just like alerted, turns to me, and I can't put the satchel charge on it, and it runs me over with these janky wheel hitboxes.
So, tanks are fun. Y'all seem to enjoy.
Tanks don't take one shot anymore.
I got them pretty consistently down to 2 shots, but yeah, it was. If I ever saw a tank, my new goal was to just not go anywhere near it, just go around it, because
Did you do all the objectives, like 100% every level?
yeah,
Okay.
I didn't achievement hunt, but any objective that I saw, I completed.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet, but Kassa wants to do it. I don't know how I got Kassa to be a nut for achievements, but apparently she is now, so yay. At least I'll have a buddy while looking for these Sniper Elite achievements. But I found myself, because tanks wouldn't go down in the number of shots I'm used to, I would find myself like just picking up a straight Panzerfaust and just, all right, fire. The Panzerfaust doesn't kill anyone either, by the way. But I would take a Panzerfaust, shoot it, drop it, and then sprint as quickly as I can to a hiding spot. Pretty much, it was there was a lot of guerrilla warfare whenever a tank was on the field.
The good thing about tanks is that they're relatively easy to hide from. You can shoot and then sprint around a building, and then you can just shoot again because they can't target you, because they can't follow you.
Yeah, the biggest issue is you got to take out the soldiers. You got to take out the soldiers around it, because if you don't do that, then the tank's always going to know where you're at. Are there any other mechanics that we didn't go over? You mark people with binoculars, which will, if you mark them 100%, it make sure you mark through the binoculars, because if you mark through the gun, it will disappear after so long if you don't kill them. If you mark with the binoculars, you can actually mark people and see them, see their path. It's like you scouted them pretty much, and scouted them for watched them for an hour or something to get every movement they make pretty much. And you'll be able to see them through walls. You'll see a little silhouette and stuff. You'll see a little of their marker no matter where you go, which I love in games like this. It's like detective mode. It's just one of those things that I really enjoy. So one of the explosives they got rid of in this one was the trip mine, where you could put down a spike with a bomb on it, and then make a string with another spike and a bomb on it, and you could put it in front of doorways to where people would walk through the doorway and instantly explode and die. And they took it out of this game, so now you're limited to just your grenades, your teller mines, your dynamite, and everything. So it would make locking down places a lot harder, because you'd put down the regular mine, and the regular mine actually have pretty accurate hitboxes. There'd be a couple times where a guy would run through a doorway that I put a mine right down in front of, and it doesn't trigger because he didn't step on it or didn't step within the area of it, which I thought was crazy. My sniping game's getting a little too realistic. Is there anything else?
I think that's about it for me.
My closing thoughts would just be, this game wasn't specifically for me, but it also doesn't mean it's not for everyone. So I'm glad that it seems like y'all two enjoyed it for the most part, and I'm really glad.
Yeah, I was going to say that this game is great, like 80s action movies are great.
That is fair.
It's
once
just
I
pure
went, changed my
adrenaline.
mindset on it, it definitely
Yeah.
became a little bit more fun.
It's not, you're not there for the nuanced story. You're there for the violence and the explosions and the shooting. And for that, it is a great game.
If this game isn't your jam, I would say at least play past the first level. Because, like I said, the first level is not a good representation of what the game is. The second level gets a little better. The third, I think, is the best level in the game. It just gets better after that. I do want to ask, though, Brady, what was your favorite level of it?
Honestly, I liked level 8 the best. Crawling through this bombed out city, sniping people from the top of buildings. It felt the most World War II level of all of them to me.
Level 8 was very fun. That was the level where I pretty much. So I told Casa, "You're gonna tell me exactly what to do. You're the mentor at this for this level. You tell me what to do. Once you fuck up, it'll swap back to me. Once I fuck up, it'll swap back to you. And we're just gonna keep going back through that. We played that level together the entire time, and that one was a lot of fun. It was a little once we got into the facility itself, it kind of dipped down a little bit. Like it was harder not to get detected there. But then again, you're also exploding their super weapons, so they're probably going to know they're there. But yeah, so I would say this game is really good. I would play it again. I mean, I'm gonna play it again to 100% it. I 100% or I tried 100% all the sniper elites except for the authentic difficulty so far. Because authentic difficulty makes you a real sniper and makes people have real perception.
Nah, man, I like to just running and gunning.
I guess it's Brady. It's your turn to give the description of the game.
Okay, let me pull it up.
Time to talk about a game with true nuanced storytelling.
I mean, I like that it's rated 10 out of 10 on Steam. That's fantastic. Powerwasher Simulator is a video game released by Square Enix and Future Lab on May 19th of 2021. You do exactly what the title says. You run around with a power washer and clean things.
I will stress it was in beta during that time. It didn't release until just this last month, finally.
That is correct. It was in beta until very recently. July 14th, 2022.
Well, I mean, let's just get into it. Did everyone beat this game?
Yeah, I
Yes.
beat this game.
All right, yeah, we all beat the game. I played.
Look, man, this was my nightly chill out game. I put this on, played for 2 hours, put on some music, and it was fantastic.
I found myself taking a long time on some of these levels, but yes, I played this game. This game is just chill the video game. I haven't played a game that's just so simple in what it is, but gives me like easily however long it takes to beat the game and more hours of enjoyment. Like if I played like a shooter that was like simple like this, I probably would have fallen off of it pretty quickly. But this game just feels different. It is something you can just put on podcast or music to and play. It puts you in a relaxation state while you're playing it, because like even just just listening to the power washer itself is really relaxing. Like especially me who I enjoy ASMR. I got a lot of that from this game.
It just takes the simple joy of doing menial work and adds a satisfying ding to let you know when you're done. And it is just mwah, satisfaction incarnate.
Yeah, it's not mechanically similar, but it gave me the same feeling I got when I played Stardew Valley, of just slowly going down a checklist of things I need to do, and then moving on to the next thing, and then being able to see my progress and not think too hard, just kind of shut my brain off for a little bit and relax, and then look up 5 minutes later and it's midnight.
100% agreed. As someone who put a lot of hours into Stardew Valley, I get the comparison and vibes.
Speaking of going till midnight, there were several times where I would start a level and I'd be like, oh, I'm just going to do this little part. And then I look at the clock and it's like 2, 3 in the morning and I have work the next day and I'd be like, I'm not even mad. I'll be mad in the morning, but I'm not mad now.
Had many nights like that.
So what makes this game so satisfying? Feel free, either of you.
Power washer go burr, thing go ding when done, and that's all you need.
Also, I'm assuming you both have at least a little experience with power washers.
Yes.
Like real ones.
Yeah.
When you use a real power washer, it doesn't fully clean things.
Yeah.
Being able to see a very sharp contrast between the dirt of something and then seeing all the bright colors of it once you're done cleaning it is very satisfying.
Uh,
There's a lot of saturation in the colors of this game, which make it you can physically see the difference and see your progress, which I liked.
I'm gonna put a big asterisk on where you said you can see the sharp lines almost all the time. There were
Almost all the time.
some items that just wouldn't bullshit. It was so hard to see, like even with the dirt finder feature, which lets you tap a button and like all the dirt flashes orange. Either the lighting or just it was slightly hidden, or you have to be laying down looking up with your head tilted at the right angle to be able to see the tiny little crack that you missed.
Yeah. Yeah, there were a few of those.
Those ones were a little annoying.
so actually, to get that ding, there was a lot of like variance in that. There were some that were really lenient, where it's like if you spray 80% of this off, we'll say it's complete and completely clean it for you. There are others where it's like, if you didn't get every nook and cranny, I will hunt you down and kill you and your family. So clean it.
The last level, the ground floor, you had to get every single speck of dirt before it gave you the ding.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the not the archways for the entrances to the second floor, but the archways for the main floor. Those were one of those like 80% and done ones.
Speaking of that last level, did y'all go ahead and did y'all buy all the upgrades as you could?
Yes.
Yeah. How did y'all feel about the triple nozzle thing? I had never seen that before. I'd watched a lot of back when this game was in beta, a lot of videos of people playing this game. I had never seen that upgrade. Fantastic. I cleaned the entire last level with it.
I felt like it wasn't. It was overhyped a little bit. I did not feel like it was as good as what I was hoping. Whenever I saw it on there, I was like, okay, I'll get to this and I'll be able to buy it, and it'll be cool. Whenever I read triple nozzle, I was hoping it would be one of the rotator nozzles.
I was hoping the same thing. I was a little disappointed when I didn't get like triple spinning action.
Yeah, I wanted in a triangle formation, 3 of those rotating nozzles that also spun around while you're hosing it down. I think that would have been fantastic. The triple nozzle like didn't. It's good for cleaning up the small specks that you're not sure where they are, but most of the time I just use the 15-degree nozzle. It was 15, right? Or is it 25? The green one. I used the green one mostly. There were a couple of cases where it wasn't enough pressure that I'd swap to the yellow one. But also the rotator nozzle is just, especially if you get on the extra long attachment, is really fucking good actually. Like, you'd be surprised. I cleaned the entire mayor's level with that one. I put it on the extra long one and just stood back, and it just covered the entire circle, and I just slowly moved sideways, and it would just work.
Yeah, I used the yellow nozzle 90% of the time and the rotator nozzle the other 10% of the time to get anything that was either too far away or too like small. I didn't realize that you could buy the triple nozzle because you get to a certain point and there's just nothing for you to buy in the store. So I stopped checking the store.
It unlocks at a really weird point. It's like when you get like what 165 stars or something bizarre.
Yeah, I think it was 165.
The only reason I knew it existed and that I wanted to get it was because I was checking the achievement descriptions and I was like, there's only 5 like things. Where's the 6th I need for this last achievement? It's hidden behind further in the game.
So let's go into levels. What are some levels like y'all really enjoyed with it? Because there were some I really liked, but towards the end of the game, it kind of got a little repetitive to me because it kept giving me metal stuff after metal stuff, and metal was the one thing that like is just super hard to clean unless you use the soap.
Yeah, I would always resort to soap after. I would basically go one brushing pass with like the yellow or whatever yellow orange nozzle, and then whenever I was done with that, I would just go over with soap at the end.
Yeah, I literally didn't use any soap except for the metal soap in the main game. Until the last level because it was just so massive. I'm just like, this will just speed it up. And I found out that it actually made like more problems for me because then I was hunting for those little dots more. Um,
I really didn't use soap much. I just I could get things usually with a high powered nozzle and the yellow thing if I went slow enough, so I just never tried the soap much.
you were also unemployed during this time, so you actually had like extra time. I was trying to
I
like,
had more time.
yeah, I was trying to like get through this as quickly as possible as well, while also like still enjoying it. So, like I would find like just spraying the same piece of metal over and over again with a single nozzle. I was just like, no, I want to use the regular like the arc the green nozzle, and then use soap if I have to. And I only really needed it on the metal stuff. But I think the levels I enjoyed the most, I really liked doing the skate park, though I'm very upset that it had us remove the graffiti from it. Because I feel like
I agree.
I feel like graffiti and a skate park, those two things belong together. Like you shouldn't take out graffiti; it's art at that point, unless it's like explicit or something like that. But none of it was. What did y'all think about the RV in the middle of the desert? That's like, hey, come clean our RV again.
That was a fun surprise. I liked that a lot. If we're jumping right into spoilers, I guess we'll go for it because this is a really good surprise.
Let's finish our favorite levels and then we'll talk about plot things because that feels like a
I honestly did not think this game had a plot until like I just started reading like certain things. And I'm like, wait, they're actually going somewhere with this. This has been mentioned before. So like I'm missing like the first half of the plot honestly, and like later in the game is when I actually started paying attention to it because like this isn't a plot. This is like Sniper Elite. This isn't a plot game. This is a you're playing it for this specific thing game. Sniper Elite was shooting Nazis. This is for satisfaction, power washing.
There were I guess we should do levels first before we get to that plot stuff. But there was a lot of cases where in the early game it was just like people talking shit behind other people's backs, which was pretty fun. The only real lore I caught personally was like, oh hey, some cats are going missing. Oh, that's weird, and that's basically it.
yeah. So my favorite level was the playground, I think, because I am developmentally like 3 years old because all the bright colors and the greens and blues and yellows and reds were very satisfying to uncover, and also dinosaur.
Yeah, the Dino Slide took a that was my first like super intricate clean. I was like, holy shit! It actually expects you to clean all of this for that one. Um, so we got the van. Van was okay. Back garden. I really enjoyed the back garden as well. Because I spent. It's funny because at this point, Casa was playing with me on this as well. Casa got like 30% of the level done while I was just trying to figure out what the fuck I was missing on the birdhouse in the back garden. Just to find out I had to spray in the little fucking hole where the birds go in.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I don't understand. I took care of the bar, not the bar, the birdhouse and the grill in the time that it took her to do like the entire patio. The entire patio steps and the fences up there.
The back garden is a very good like starter level to like get you into how the game works because there's a lot of stuff there to clean, and it kind of encourages you to like look around and go, oh hey, I'm not just cleaning the stones here. I gotta clean the lawnmower, the birdhouse, the grill. Uh, so yeah, I really like the back garden as well.
I
As
gotta
for
get down on my belly to clean underneath the waterfall stones.
yes, I had some trouble with the waterfall stones initially.
I actually, so I 100% of the game. I completed all the levels and I got all the achievements for it. I did not go through and do the water challenges.
Absolutely not. I think I did them on like one or two of the levels, but all the gold medal achievements that I did were on the vehicles. I don't think I did any in the actual locations because those would have taken ages.
Actually, the locations I found, like, they take a little longer than the vehicles, obviously, but I found that the locations were a lot easier. I finished, you only need to finish them in 25 minutes, the two that they had available, which was the back garden and the bungalow. And I got them both done with at least more than 5 minutes to spare, both of them. But I did the back garden time trial, and whenever you finally have like a high powered washer and you're cleaning those stones, that is actually so satisfying. Cleaning the stones, like you're just crouched in the pool, in the pond, and you're just spraying all of it over. That was really satisfying. I enjoyed cleaning all those stones. So then we got the bungalow. Go ahead.
So, yeah, I think my favorite levels, not counting the special levels, because I only played the one, the Mars rover one, which was very good and would probably rate very high in my list.
Yeah, I did that one too.
So non-spoiler levels, I think I really enjoyed. I guess I can say them without them being spoilers. So, Skate Park was the first one that I really, really loved. I think it was a really well-designed level, and it's like one of the first really big flat areas you get to clean, or like mostly flat areas, and that was a good one for just like zoning out and playing. I remember I was
the one thing I have about the skate park is it, like, you had to move the ladder around a lot for this one, and so you would have to like jump up and actually climb onto the bounding walls of the skate park to clean part of it. I felt like that was a little annoying, but other than that, like that little slapped.
Yeah. I was trying to do, on my first run through, I was trying to do the go through the level and only get like clean everything to 95%.
Oh, without any
without completing anything on the skate park. And I got so close. I was at like 94%, and I accidentally touched one thing slightly too much, and it auto dinged because it was like an early one of those ones that's like you don't have to clean the full thing to fully unlock it, which was upsetting. So that drops it in my rating a little bit. I really enjoyed two levels I think are not going to be too popular on y'all's list. I really liked the washroom and the subway platform levels. I think those were really well done. I like those a lot. You did? Okay.
I did, yeah.
I got stuck for the longest time in the washroom because I thought one of my walls was glitched. I just could not find the one spot it was looking for me. I actually restarted the game and redid it, went and sprayed that wall for like half a second and it dinged. So I don't know if it actually bugged on me or if like I just sprayed in the correct spot for there. But I went over that singular wall at least 6 times before I reset, and then it finally dinged.
There was a couple instances where I had something similar happen where it's just like, okay, this looks mostly done. I just had to sit there with like the high pressure spinny one and just kind of like brush over it a little bit until I cleaned up the random speck of dirt that just like allowed it to complete.
I really enjoyed the mayor's mansion. Like whenever you first get the super the extended rod, like cleaning all the eggs off of it, I thought was like really funny.
I did not like the mayor's mansion. Here's why. Because at that point I was saving up money to buy the next highest powered washer and hadn't bought one of the longer extenders because I was just using the shorter one and saving up my money to buy the next washer and just jump that process. But you can't complete the mayor's mansion without buying some kind of extender. So I had to like sink half my money into that. And it set me back a little bit in getting the next highest powered washer. But yeah, so do we want to talk plot?
Do we have any other levels that we want to shout out?
I mean, we could talk about every single level if we wanted to.
I liked RV again, and like the last 3 location levels, I really enjoyed the ancient statue, the ancient monument, and the very last level. I really liked those ones.
Okay. So actually, let's just go through and each of the levels and just give a quick yay or nay, and then for a couple of them, I have a caveat if y'all have a caveat for a couple of them as well. So the van. Good level. I thought it was really clever that, hey, this is how you're starting your business. This is the van you're using. It had you clean your own van.
Yeah, I like that one as well. I liked the little bit of like text info that was just like, yeah, we drudged this one out of a lake, but you got it for pennies on the dime, so here you go.
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay. Back garden we've already talked about. Bungalow, decent level.
Decent level.
Uh,
I'd agree.
Playground, I'm with Brady on this one. This one was one of my favorites.
Playground also slapped. I would agree, except for the achievement because I had a very hard time with the getting the ball up the slide.
Oh, did you try and do it up the stairs or up the actual slide?
Up the actual slide.
What were you trying to like? Were you using one of the wide angle nozzles or the singular nozzle?
The singular, the high pressure
Okay, yeah,
one.
it's a lot easier with the singular one, but it didn't take me long. I got it in the first like 3 minutes of that one, and Casa spent the entire rest of the time after she cleaned half the playground trying to get it up. What's the? I don't remember the detached house, so I don't think it was that memorable. The shoe house.
The detached house was the one that was, if you were reading anything, so it was implied to be like a ghost house.
Oh, okay. That one was all right. The facades on that one were fucking awful. Shoe house, good.
Shoe
I
house
liked
good.
it. Yeah.
I did not like the dialogue in that one. How it was just a baby text me the entire time. I thought that was that was just kind of annoying. Then again, I'm the oldest of 7, so I've dealt with that shit already. So it was just a reminder. Vintage car was okay.
It
Yeah,
first
it was-
introduced us to Rust.
Yeah.
I think, which I wasn't
Yeah.
a fan of, but
Yeah.
it was okay.
Rust is where soap came in clutch for me. So
Fire station. Fuck this level.
It was good.
fucking sucked. I hate so. Fire station would have been great, except for the tower in the back. The tower in the back was
the tower in the
awful.
back was
So
awful.
the thing that so I think that for me and Walker, the thing that made the fire station bad was the fact that we weren't allowed to use the scaffolding because we were trying to get the achievement.
Yep.
So that's what made it bad. It was probably fine for
Well, I
you,
used
Brady.
the scaffolding and it wasn't too
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
The you had to do it without the scaffolding, and this was before the unlock of the extra long.
Yeah,
thing.
so you just had the regular, like you'd have to buy the regular long one, and even then, you cannot reach the top of that tower very easily. Like you'd have to get the stool, put the stool in front of it, and then jump because you can't set the ladder against that tower either.
Yeah, there was a lot of instances where I was like stood on the very edge pixel of the boundary box for the tower, like hanging over the side, desperately trying to reach down and hit anything that I could to clean the last little bit off.
Grandpa Miller's car. I don't even remember what that one was.
Yeah, it was fine.
That's the race car.
Oh, okay. Oh, that one was good then. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
That was a good one.
Skate park, good. Fire truck.
I liked
Fire
the
truck was okay. It was unmemorable for me.
I remember that was the first part I had to use soap on. Because of the metal bit in the middle, I like it just wasn't coming off. Forest Cottage was pretty good.
Yeah.
What was the forest cottage?
It's not the tree house, but it's the one with the fence that you had to clean. It was it had.
Oh, I had an issue with that one with the roof. I was having a really hard time getting the roof fully cleaned.
Yeah.
Yeah, the roof was difficult in that one.
Dirt bike. I went burr.
That
Dirt bike went burr. Yeah, I agree.
dirt bike should have gone earlier in the career. It was too
yeah.
quick.
I disagree because I felt like they were all paced pretty well. The dirt bite is just to introduce you to, hey, there's a lot of intricate parts in this engine specifically.
Yeah. Yeah.
I spent a very long time trying to get the gold medal on the dirt bike because it was the quickest one. I was like, I could definitely get this. So I spent a good 20, 30 attempts trying to get the gold medal on that for speed.
Oh wow, I got it in like the third or fourth.
All right, brag about it.
I didn't want to brag about it, but like 30, that's rough, man.
It was rough. I had a hard time. Okay, but I think to counter your point, Brady, of it should have been earlier on. I think they added a nice little breakup in
between
like
the super
length
long
because there was a couple
levels.
really long missions kind of sandwiched before and after that one.
Yeah, and there were times where you would unlock and have multiple jobs that you could go do, so you could actually take your choice as well. So
Yeah. That's true.
I found myself missing those near the end of the game. It was like, oh, I just want to do one that's like really quick and satisfying.
Yeah, the golf cart, it was alright. Not even memorable in my opinion. Motorbike and sidecar, same. SUV, I don't even remember what the SUV looked like.
Yeah, I don't remember the SUV at all.
Penny farthing did it. So I
Hated it.
I got the 90.
Hated?
I got
Brady, we should talk about this. 1 second.
I got the 95%
What
on the
happened,
penny
Brady?
farthing.
It's just so everything is so narrow. It was hard for me to aim at it. Like the spray would spray the thing and then I get too close to it and it'd, like go past it. It's hard for me to explain.
No, I think I
Sitting
know what you're
right
talking
here.
Yeah,
about,
trust me, I know what you're talking
because
about.
this was one of the last ones that I ended up doing.
Yeah.
I went back to it afterwards to get the 95% achievement. And yeah, trying to hit some of those points, especially because it's rusted, right? So you have to use the higher power nozzles.
Right.
Yeah, so trying to hit it with the precise nozzle, I completely agree.
At this point, with the yellow one, I was able to like get most of it done with that. Actually, did you put on the short extension by chance? Because it increases the power slightly.
I do not remember
Okay,
what I did.
go ahead, Walker.
I will say the penny farthing. If you guys want to go back with the pro cleaner, it go burr. If you you can hit it with like the green nozzle and just destroy that thing in 3 seconds. It's incredible.
So I want to get 6 because you can play with up to 6 people. I want to get 6 people and start and do a couple of these levels. One of the levels I want to do with 6 people is the penny farthing. Just send us all in. Ready, set, go. And see how fucking quickly we get that shit done. Clean the RV. That one was good.
Yeah, this is a solid one.
I had some issues with rust on that one,
Yeah.
being kind of a pain in the ass. Outside of that, though, not too bad.
Fire helicopter. I really enjoyed the fire helicopter.
Loved that one. Loved that one.
I don't remember actually doing the fire helicopter. I remember what it is, I just don't remember actually cleaning it.
There wasn't too much rust. It was a lot of flat spaces, and it was very brightly colored. Loved it.
The where the blades attach, I remember cleaning that was kind of intricate and a little difficult. But other than that, like I really enjoyed it. The mayor's mansion we already talked about. The carousel. Fuck the carousel.
I accidentally got the achievement for that one because I didn't realize you could turn it off until I was done with it.
I think, I 100% agree. I think the carousel would have been fantastic if I had turned it off. I think it would have gone by like no issue.
I thought it wasn't too bad. You just sat still and pointed your thing, and it spun for you.
But it was so slow to actually go around and clean it properly like that, though.
It wasn't even the fact that, like, I love a lazy level. I love being able to sit in the middle and everything. The problem is, it was one of those, like, hey, you have to clean every fucking speck of this thing to get it done for that level. And that's what made it upsetting for me. Because I was like, okay, I can keep it on for the achievement and be fine. Also, like, cleaning those horses is just, like, rough because you have...
Yeah, that was a pain.
There are some angles where you can't be on the carousel in order to get the horse correctly because it, like, you'll hit a pole and fucking get knocked off or something. But other angles where you just get in the center and you can spray it. Alright. The treehouse was probably one of my favorite levels.
It was a great level.
I really liked the treehouse. That was pretty fun.
Right into one of my least favorite levels, the drill.
Drill sucked. I didn't like the drill at all.
I didn't have too many problems with it.
I'm gonna jump in real quick. I'm gonna start kind of pecking at lore because this is kind of where I started paying more attention to the messages that were coming through.
Okay.
I believe the drill and a couple of the other ones are related to the mayor. Is that correct?
Probably.
Is the mayor the rich guy?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
The mayor sucked ass. I
He
hated
was
him.
awful.
Every time he started talking, it was like, you're the worst supervillain ever. Like, he's like, oh, well, you know, since you're my guy, I'll just let you clean my horrible things. And we find out later on that this drill specifically is part of the reason the end of the game happens.
Yeah.
But the drill it was one of those really strict levels where you had to clean like a good bit of it in order to get it done. and there were a lot of like little nooks and crannies on the drill, on the wheel tracks, on everything about it to get this one done. It might not have been as bad if I didn't go over the entire thing with soap beforehand.
See, here's the thing. I think the main issue that y'all have with soap is y'all used soap incorrectly. Soap is something you hit afterwards. Like, at the very end, once you've gone one full brush stroke over it first, then you hit it with the soap, and that clears off the last little bit. If you do the soap first, it leaves so much shit behind.
But it's so fun to watch the bar go up so quickly whenever you're doing soap along a flat surface.
And then you're sitting there afterwards cleaning all the shit that it missed, and it's so many like little speckled dots everywhere.
Honestly, I think the soap's a bait.
Soap's great.
I think the soap's a bait because like you heard Brady. Brady didn't use it at all. I only used it on metal things. I think the soap's a bait. After the drill, we had the temple.
I loved the design of the temple. I thought it was a really cool looking building.
Temple was really cool. I enjoyed that one a lot.
It was a little hard to clean some of the places on it, but like it wasn't like too hard. It was a good challenge. The washroom we've already talked about. Fuck the Helter Skelter.
That's the tower with the slide,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, that one
Fuck
sucked.
that shit.
Yeah, that one. Like I got it done,
that
but
thing.
my God, it was awful.
I think most of the ones at the fairground kind of sucked. I really
Yeah.
did not enjoy most of them.
Same.
Honestly, I'm looking back on it. The fucking merry-go-round, the Helter Skelter, the Ferris wheel, the fortune teller's wagon. Yeah, I think they all sucked.
Yeah, the Ferris wheel took a. We'll get to that in a minute, but yeah, the Helter Skelter was not fun.
The private jet was fun.
I like the private jet.
It was fun to see the advanced warfare items it had on it, but you know.
Yeah, almost like someone's hunting UFOs.
The frolic boat was funny because Fandom played that level with me. That was one of the first levels that like Fandom didn't even have access to the to any of the cleaners besides the first one, and so she came and did the frolic boat with me. It took her to clean the entire ceiling. Took her as long as it took me to clean the rest of the boat, and I still got on top done and got on top and finished cleaning the ceiling for her. It was really funny.
I remember the frolic boat taking a while for me.
Yeah. It's a cool design, though.
Yeah, I agree. I like all the implementations of cats throughout the thing too. It was pretty fun, kind of seeing where they popped up.
The monster truck was very satisfying at the beginning until you had to get up and under and clean all the intricacies of it, and it wouldn't but it wouldn't let you like move certain places to get better angles on stuff.
Yep.
I agree.
If I'm gonna be able to like crouch down to where I'm on my belly, I should be able to crawl under the entire thing to clean it. Next was the subway platform. Subway platform was very enjoyable for me, but it just took so long. Like that.
It was so much.
That was probably the third longest clean that I'd had.
The subway platform did take a very long time, but it was a very satisfying process for me specifically, because I went from like I did the one side fully and then like slowly moved through the whole thing. So watching the replay back was very nice.
Replays back are hands down like
the replays are the best part of it.
Oh yeah.
Probably like the dings while you're cleaning are pretty good, but I think replays are legit the best part, which sucks because half the time my game would fucking freeze and I wouldn't be able to like see the replay. I would have to close the game and reopen it to have the job complete. Like it would say job complete and then it just wouldn't open the replay.
We should be able to go back and rewatch the replays though.
It might be because I'm on the older system. I'm still on the 1, so
gotcha.
It just like wouldn't load. Fortune teller's wagon, that one was a super strict one. That
yes,
yeah,
like it was fun at first, and then it just wasn't. It got to a point where it wasn't. The ancient statue was cool. I enjoyed that one.
I like both of the ancient statue ones. I thought they were really cool.
fully agreed. The ancient statue was very cool, and the color underneath after cleaning off the dirt was so satisfying.
Oh yeah, the metallic blue.
Yeah, that one was like threw me for a loop because I had to stop while cleaning the hand monument at one point, And I came back and I hit my like button to see what was dirty and what wasn't, and I thought the black was dirty and the orange was the color it was. So I sat there, started spraying the black. Well, like right after I'd gotten back, I'd stopped midway through and started cleaning the black. I'm like, why isn't this clean? And I'm like, wait a second, you're a dumb fuck. Like it took me like a minute and a half to catch what I was doing wrong. But I thought it was funny. So ancient statue, stunt plane. Stunt plane was a like quick, enjoyable one in my opinion.
I disagree.
Yeah.
It was not quick nor enjoyable for me.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. I was using soap for the stunt plane.
The stunt plane I felt like took ages to get through.
See, this is why you use soap at the beginning. Then you get through. You go zoom zoom.
I did not use soap, but I still went. I thought it was pretty snappy. Maybe it's just because I did the last level so recently that everything else seems quick by comparison.
That's fair. Yeah, I understand that.
The ancient monument, what's that? The hand monument. We already talked about that.
The hand was cool. I thought the achievement for that was very fun too. It was very slow because you had to clean the entire thing with the white nozzle.
So I tried doing that the first time I was completing it, and I was trying to do something, and I accidentally tapped the button, went over to the green nozzle, and like I literally corrected myself in like less than a second. And I corrected myself and still didn't get the achievement. And I was just like, I'm gonna have to start this all over whenever I'm done with it. I'm so upset.
I did the exact same thing. I was at something like 96% completion. I was taking care of the last little bit of the hand, and I accidentally bumped the bumper and swapped nozzles, and I was already spraying, so it just kept spraying. I was like, fuck! And I shut down the game. I tried to restart it, and it did not save me. So I was like, fuck.
Damn.
I was probably like somewhere in the 70s, so like just as crushing. Like just whenever it happens, you're just like, one of the most infuriating things in the game, and there aren't very many of them.
Yeah.
Next was the recreational vehicle again, which was actually a UFO.
That was a fun level and a very fun surprise.
I loved that level. That level was really good. And then the Lost Palace. The Lost Palace, I thought was really good.
Wait, you skipped over the fishing boat.
I did, my bad. So the fishing boat was, I had already done it in my head. The fishing boat I really enjoyed.
The fishing boat was nice.
I thought it was too rusty.
Use soap.
Yeah, just use soap.
No, never.
I thought the fishing boat was great. The achievement did not pop for me, even though I did it correctly the first time, so I had to redo just the deck and stuff afterwards. That was a little annoying.
Did you accidentally do the top, both the top parts of the center, like whatever it's called, that were also labeled deck? Because you're only supposed to do the main deck and then the part that the stairs go up.
Yeah, I made sure to check that beforehand. I did. I literally did stair, bow, main deck, and it didn't pop for me. I was like, well, god damn it. So I did have to redo that a little bit. So that was a little bit annoying.
I did main deck, and then I went up to that center mass and did both of those things that were also labeled a kind of deck, and then did the stairs and the bow, and it didn't pop, and I'm like, what? And I went and Googled it, and I'm like, motherfucker. I'm going to have to do this one again, too.
Yeah, that one's a little tricky. So I think the fishing boat and the fire helicopter get bonus points that we'll talk about in a minute.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
And the private jet. And the private jet get bonus points.
Okay.
But
And the private jet.
Then the Lost City Palace.
The minute has come. The Lost City Palace was so cool. What a great final level for this game.
It was so fucking big. Jesus Christ.
I think it was the biggest, but I also think it was probably the best level.
Yeah, I would agree. Couple of things. So it was really cool to see once you got to the island, you could turn around immediately and see the fishing boat that you had just cleaned was the thing that brought you to the island, and then your van was brought there via the helicopter, which was very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But yeah, I want to talk about the palace for a minute. How long did it take y'all before you cleaned the murals? Because the murals were one of the last things I did without even realizing it.
Yeah, so the way I did is I did all of the outside first, and then I went to the top level and started working my way down, like the inside from the top down. So I got to the murals about halfway through and I was like, wait, that looks familiar.
Yup.
Wait, that's the thing I cleaned.
Well, fuck. This seems kind of bad because then it seems like I missed something because we were supposed to record this podcast on Friday, the 11th or the 12th. Was it the 11th or 12th? It was the 12th. We were recording this on August 15th, Monday. So I remember the night before, right after D&D, me and Kassa both got on this and got on the Lost City Palace because I needed her help to get it done in time. And so I cleaned the entire outside while she cleaned the inside, and so she took care of all the murals, and I didn't even see one.
Oh, you missed out.
No.
So I guess we can talk about it a little bit, Brady. Do you want to tell them what was on the murals?
Yeah. So basically, the murals are almost like ancient Egyptian style glyphs and hieroglyphs of you and all of the previous levels. So it has like the fire engine and the helicopter and the boat and the shoe and all of the different levels that you've gone through drawn in like ancient Egyptian pictograph style.
Okay, so I did end up cleaning the statue in the center at the bottom, and I noticed how it looked like kind of like how I would imagine a power washer to look, except he was holding the trident. So I thought there was some sort of connection with that. So
The temple is a temple dedicated to you, the power washer.
Because lore, the UFO was not actually an alien UFO. It was a time machine by people from the future who then went back in time to talk to the ancient people who used to live in this area and convince them to create a temple dedicated to you so that you could stop the volcano from exploding, which would end up destroying the world. And that's the lore to Power Washer.
Yeah.
what? What?
Yep.
I'm not even fucking with you. This is real. This is the real shit that happens in this game. There's a whole text chain that like comes to you. That's why
Yeah.
at the very end of cleaning this level, I'm sure that y'all saw. I think it was really clever. Hiding the very last thing that you can clean on the temple until the very end.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So after you finish cleaning the entirety of the temple, you get your little to-do list that pops up in the corner that tells you like what you've missed, and you kind of clean up the rest of the things. And you see one thing that's just like, Pyramidion Gym. And it's like, what?
It's labeled on there because it shows you the list whenever you have 3 things left to do. So it popped up on there, and Cass is going like, "What is that?" Me, I had already at this point Googled all the achievements and everything. So I was like, "Don't worry about that. We'll find out later." And so we kept cleaning, got the floor done, and the walls, and then it popped up, and so I'm like, "All right, I'm not even gonna tell her about it." I ran outside, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And, like, she ended up following me, but I was trying to clean it myself. I was like, "I'm gonna do this," but so yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So this like mystical gem suddenly appears at the very top of the pyramid structure, and you go up there to clean it, and once you hit about 80% clean, you get a notification saying that one of your friends went to go investigate the volcano that's like actively erupting in the background. Once you start getting into these final levels, you start seeing more and more of like this volcano billowing in the distance, and you eventually get a notification on this final level saying like, "Oh hey, went to go check out the volcano. Looks like the mayor, Captain Douchebag, went out there to go like mining for some special gems that were used in the ancient monuments. But in doing so, drove his drill directly into the I think we called it the magma cavity or something like that. It's actual volcano terms that I cannot remember. Drove the drill into it and triggered this eruption cycle. And I guess your friend catches him out there, and he figures out that you're out at this temple, and you get a notification saying like, "Oh hey, the mayor took his plane and is flying your direction." So as you are cleaning and you finish up this gym, or like as the gym appears, if you look up in the sky, you'll see this airplane like flying around, like swooping on you. It's intense for power washing. game.
Yeah.
Brady, you want to talk about what happens when you finish?
The volcano stops erupting. You save the day. The UFO that you cleaned earlier, doesn't it appear
It does appear.
and just has a flash of purple light and disappears next to the volcano?
You must have missed it then. So, as the UFO appears, it actually shoots down the helicopter. Or not the
Oh, I
helicopter,
did
the,
miss
the,
that.
the jet that's flying and swooping on you.
I did miss
Oh,
that.
it was so
Wow.
cool. I was like, oh god, what the fuck?
Damn. Yeah, and then the time travelers go back to their time period, and the volcano doesn't erupt, and roll credits.
Yeah, who knew the game had lore?
Can I say, what a nice credit sequence.
Mine
Yes.
again was half broken. So
Oh no, really?
yeah,
Mine was also kind of broken a little bit because I also did it on Xbox
yeah.
One.
I think if we played it on the X, I think this would have been like really good. So I'm not gonna like discredit anything because it did show a few of them, and I'm just like, oh yes, it's going through showing me cleaning everything. This is great. Then about after like 5 of them, it's just like, oh well, it fucking froze. God damn it. While the credits would still be rolling, but it wouldn't show anything like picture wise for a while, and I'm just like, okay, well,
Oh, that's a bummer. Yeah, it goes through every single one of the jobs that you do and like shows you cleaning them, which is really really nice to see.
now let's cover the special levels real quick. Did anyone
only
do? You only did the Mars rover?
I only did the Mars rover, but I thought it was a very very cool level.
I did the rover. Me and Casa did the train, and then part of the theme park one.
The theme park.
Not the
Mini
theme
golf
park,
course?
the putt-putt.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
I did the Mars rover. I did them all. So I did the Mars rover. Really liked it. Gnome Fountain. It was all right. Mini golf course is my favorite. My favorite one. In the game.
It was.
I
great.
loved that one. And then Steam Locomotive was. Yeah, it was all right.
Garbage.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't want to say garbage. I did like. I was okay with it, but it was the last one that I did, and at this point, I just wanted to be like done with power washing. Like I had officially hit my limit at this point. So
The train was all of the things that made the levels difficult put into one. It was super rusty metal. It was incredibly intricate and hard to reach without getting into super awkward angles in parts. It was a very technical clean, which isn't really what I like. But loved the other levels that I did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
the actual
like I
levels.
said, I only really did the Mars rover one, but that was super super cool.
the Mars rover one had a clever little thing in it where you clean all the Mars rover, and then again, there's a little thing that is missing from it, like the gym in the last level. It says like something hatch, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like secret hatch.
Like you're looking at it at the rover for the longest time until you figure out it's not even on the rover. And if you notice around the rover there are footprints, and if you follow where those footprints are, there's a little hatch that you assume leads into the fucking planet, which is kind of funny. I really think that was really cool.
Yeah.
There were little alien footprints leading up to it too, which I thought was pretty fun.
But yeah, so that's all the games. I think we've discussed
We
them
did
all
it.
pretty in depth for what they are. Like none of them really had too much intricacies with it. I think we did really good on this one because we chose like a short game, and then we also got like 2 games that are mostly just like you do what the game is. Like for Sniper Elite, you're just sniping Nazis. For Power Washer, you're just power washing. No, like there isn't like too much to the lore of either of these games. So I think it was like really good idea to do these together.
Yeah. I had a blast playing these games.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so closing thoughts. Let's just go ahead and let's go back to Stray Walker. What would you rate this one?
For Stray, I really enjoyed it. I think my only issue that I had is in the ending specifically. It kind of came up abruptly, and it really made me want more but that can easily be mitigated by just put out another game, guys. Make a Stray 2.
Stray, brother.
I think I'm gonna put Stray at like a 9.5 out of 10. It was super, super fun.
I only got to watch 3 hours of it, and I enjoyed those 3 hours. I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for what I've seen of it, but it's probably better than that. I probably will go back and play it at some point. I do have a $25 just sitting on my Steam account, and it's about 26. So, Brady, what's your rating on Stray?
I didn't want. I have no experience with the game, so I have no rating.
What's your rating?
Rate it.
Rate it right now.
Knowing you'll be judged.
Yes out of 10.
Perfect.
Yes out of 10. Got it. Good shit. All right. Next, Sniper Elite. Brady, what did you think of Sniper Elite?
I'd say it's 6.5 out of 10. There were a lot of problems with it, but it was a really fun game that didn't take itself terribly seriously and knew what it was about. So I'd say 6.5 out of 10, maybe 7.
Before we go into that, what's the lowest rating like you would like you would actually play and beat a game at? Just curious.
Like a 5, maybe 4.
All right.
I would say Sniper Elite 7. 7
7
out of 10. Not a 6.5. It's a 7.
I was gonna give Sniper Elite an 8. I also have not I still have yet to dive into what it takes to 100% this game, which might change it, might change it for the better, might change it for the worse, depending on like how well I explore the maps at this point. I got to find all those Stone Eagles, so I'll say an 8 out of 10 for now, and probably will have a different rating for it at the end of the year whenever after I've 100%ed it. Walker, for what you played of it.
For what it is, I think for me, I would put it at probably a generous 5.5.
Generous 5.5?
Yeah.
Maybe if it's still installed in your system, maybe you and I can play the second level together, and we can see where it goes, how you feel about it after that.
Sure, yeah.
Trent, what was your rating for Powerwasher Simulator?
So for Powerwasher Simulator, I really enjoyed most of the levels. There were a couple of levels that were nitpicky and everything. I didn't really care for plot or lore. I was literally hooked as soon as I saw that just how satisfying the game was. So I would probably give it a 8 out of 10 as well. I really enjoyed the game, but it's not like one of the things that like puts me on the edge of my seat or something like that. So
I would give the game a 9 out of 10 for what it is. It's not a AAA game, but it is a satisfying game that the mechanics of it work as far as I saw, and it has a lot of really intricate and interesting level design. Fantastic game. 9 out of 10.
I think I would put it agreeing with Brady. I mean, it's not it's not a AAA game. It's not the same level of depth that something like Tunic had. But for what it was really, really solid. It was a enjoyable experience. I'm going to put it at, I think a 9 is a pretty solid spot for it.
All right, well, there you have it. And we will continue to be playing games this year, and we'll see if any of these games end up cracking our top 10 list at the end of the year, which they probably will. But that's going to do it for us today, guys. So thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to tune in next time where we will be covering, what is it? Is it
Cult of
Cult
the
of the
Lamb?
Lamb? That's right. We'll be covering Cult of the Lamb, as well as it's kind of been a little slow on releases of games like we would enjoy playing. So we'll probably have like a little surprise for y'all. I mean, I guess without further ado, let's just sign off on the Joystick Frequency. Thank you once again for tuning in. I will catch y'all later.
Yeah, y'all have a good one. Take care.
See y'all.
Signing out.